Hello, everybody, and good morning. I hope you guys are having a great day so far and a great morning. And I am so excited because honestly, I'm super excited for this specific video and for the upcoming videos because it's time for content on Sarah J. Maas. Now, if you've been following my channel, since I started doing book reviews, because I started with reactions and then eventually moved on to book reviews and reactions and then recommendations, you will know that I've recommended Sarah J. Maas books for a couple of different videos. I can't remember which right away, but I recommended Sarah J. Maas for a couple of videos. And now I am currently in a reread of Throne of Glass, which is her first series, which is the first series I was acquainted with. Later then was with A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is still ongoing, and of course Crescent City, which is also still ongoing. So I am really excited to finally provide you guys with all the Sarah J. Maas praise I've already been providing you with when I'm reviewing individual reviews. Here's something that's important to me for you guys to know when I review. I am a Sarah J. Maas stan. Not just fan, I am her stan because I stan Sarah J. Maas entirely. She is a great writer to me, and I like a lot of things that she does. But let's talk about that when I review the books. So we're going to start off today with The Assassin's Blade, as you can see from the title. This is a prequel to her Throne of Glass series. I decided to read the prequel first. I'm going to make this spoiler free. So there won't be any spoilers because it's best to connect the events in Assassin's Blade to the later events of Throne of Glass, which you'll find out soon later. So yeah, this entire week will be a bunch of Sarah J. Maas reviews. I mean, you guys already saw the previous review, of course, but for Monday, but the last 4 videos of this week will be Sarah J. Maas related. I hope you guys enjoy those. Anyway, let's begin. Here's the description for The Assassin's Blade. Contains all 5 novellas. Okay. Selena Sardathian is Otterland's most feared assassin. As part of the Assassin's Guild, her allegiance is to her master, Arabin Hamel. Yet, Selena listens to no one and trusts only her fellow killer for hire, Sam. In these action-packed novellas, together in one edition for the first time, Selena embarks on the five daring missions. They take her from remote islands to hostile deserts where she fights to liberate slaves and seeks to avenge the tyrannous. Yeah, okay. But she is acting against Arabin's orders and could suffer an unimaginable punishment for such treachery. Will Selena ever be truly free? Explore the dark underworld of this kick-ass heroine to find out. Okay, I want to say this. The first thing I want to say about this one synopsis, I have never seen the word kick-ass in any description of a book. So the fact that this is a part of the description, I give props to because I have never seen it and I love it. So yeah, no, I love it. I think that the fact that that the word is being used kind of describes Selena perfectly. So yes, I appreciate it. My thoughts on this action-packed novella. It is prequel, so it is great. I think it gives a really good it gives us a good idea of the character we will mainly be following and of who this series is about. I think it gives us a good view on the character. I think it gives us an interesting development of her, and it gives us at least a glimpse of her in a way. And I like this small glimpse because this is what it is. It's a small glimpse before the events that take in Throne of Glass. Now, I will say that with Assassin's Blade, because I have read the series before and am reading it again for I think the second time is the time I'm reading the first series. I read the first couple of books at least twice, but like the entire series is kind of like the second time reading everything together. But basically, when to read Assassin's Blade, you should either read it before reading the series, which is the way I did it the first time and every other time, or you should read it um or you should read it definitely either before you read everything or after Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, or Heir of Fire, definitely. Those are the main ones. But definitely make sure you read it before Queen of Shadows. That is the main thing I want to suggest, that you read the Assassin's Blade before Queen of Shadows, because during that half of the series is kind of where the Assassin's Blade stuff starts kind of making more sense, and you kind of get more connections, and it's a whole thing. I like the pacing for this. These are 5 novellas, but when read, it actually kind of reads like a novel with a couple of, time lapses, but it kind of most of the time it's not a big time lapse between novellas. So the Assassin's Blade reads like a well-crafted novel, like in 5 parts. That's how I see it, like a novel that says part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, but each of these are just novellas in one edition. So I like that fact that it reads like a novel, but that you can also read them individually. That part I like. And I love the characters that Selena meets in the different novellas, and in the ways that they become part of her life. I think they're very interesting. I like Sarah J. Maas's writing. Like I said, her writing style is very simplistic, very easy to understand. It's not super pretty, and like the prose is not flowery, but it brings the message across, and that's perfect. And it's third person. I think it seems, from what I've read, that she seems in her books, she seems to be a lot more comfortable in third person writing. Because literally the only first person stuff I read from her is in Farah and Rhysand's point of view in A Court of Thorns and Roses, and even then, starting with A Court of Frost and Starlight, the point of views start changing between first and third person, and then when it came to A Court of Silver Flames, it's all in third person. So she seems more comfortable in third person, but that's okay. I like it. It reads kind of like young adult, like the young adult writing, but I believe Throne of Glass is young adult, although the Empire of Storms kind of puts that into question. So just, yeah, be aware of that. I mean, through Assassin's Blade, Selena is 16 and eventually turns 17. So those are the ages of young adult. But that doesn't matter when categorizing a book, because it doesn't matter what age you're in, what age your character is. If it has certain things, it will be categorized as adult. For example, a really good example is Bad Seed. It's about a kid who's 9 and looks like she committed killing. I don't remember all the events of that book, but I never read it, but I've heard about it. But it's definitely an adult book. So yeah. So it doesn't matter the ages of your character. It just depends on the things that you have written in for your character. I will say I did enjoy this novella. I gave each novella 5 out of 5 stars, all of them. And the bind up 5 stars. Each novella has a complete story. And it doesn't feel like anything's missing in either of them. There is not a lot of world building here. But then again, it makes sense because it is kind of like a high to epic fantasy. So it kind of makes sense. There is not too much world building here. There is a little bit, but not a lot. It doesn't focus on the world. It is very character heavy, as well as plot driven, but it's very, very character heavy, especially when it comes to Selena. We don't follow any other point of view except for Selena's, but that does change in Throne of Glass, which we will talk about in my next video, which should be tomorrow. So, if I'm calculating it correctly. So yeah. Thank you for watching today. If you have enjoyed this video and are interested in more content, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you're aware the moment I release videos. I usually post at least one video a week. I am trying something new where I am trying to post videos Monday through Friday. I started last week, if you remember what I did last week for my birthday week. I did start last week. I am trying, but that may not always be the case. So I just know I do post at least one video a week, usually at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Central, and 8 a.m. Pacific. So keep an eye on that. And I will see you in my next video with a review of Throne of Glass. Bye, everybody. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and happy reading.